مرحبا يا حلوين وأهلا وسهلا فيكم كمان مرة بهالفيديوهات الحلوة يلي عم نتعلم فيها الحروف العربية how to read them, how to write them and how to pronounce them. Are you ready for our new set of letters? يلا. طب اليوم نحن رح نتعلم how to write and pronounce the letter H بالعربي. Some of you may already know that in Arabic we have two types of ha letter. We have the soft H. This is, for example, the H that we may see in words like هو, هي, هن. It's a soft H, like the H of the words, the English word hat. And then we have the strong H, the ha, very characteristic of al-Arabi. Al-ha. This is the ha of حب, حبيب, حرية. تمام. A trick to pronounce this a little bit more tougher ha that we do not have in English is to imagine that this is the ha that Harry Potter uses when he communicates with snakes. So he would talk like it's this that the Arabs are going to be using when they say my love, habibi. I recommend you do it very strong at the beginning, sort of in a very creepy habibi way, and then soften it little by little. Okay, so just for you to see the difference, we have the ha, hawe, and then we have the ha, habibi, habibi. Tamam, you don't need to make it as creepy as me. Habibi. Tamam, it's a stronger ha like the ha of Harry Potter. This ha has also the same shape as other letters that do also have this breathy sound. One of them is the letter ha. The letter ha is like the CH of German, like in the word Bach, is the CH of English also in certain words, like the word loch, the Scottish word for loch. I really hope I'm pronouncing these right. Love mispronouncing things. So it's like the H of the German H of Bach, the H of Loch, or it's also the Spanish J of jamón. ¿Tamam? So we have the H, the H, the J, and lastly we have the letter J. The letter J is similar looking to the letter H and the letter J, but it has a dot beneath, and the sound is like the J in French. Je m'appelle J. J. Tamam. Some Arabs may pronounce it a little bit stronger, some Arabs may pronounce it a little bit softer. And in certain accents, مثلا the Egyptian accent, بمصر, they may even pronounce it as a g, like in the word haga. Today also we're going to learn that Arabic writing in transcription, when we write Arabic with Latin letters, sometimes we may also use numbers. Why is this? Well, we just learned two letters that could be transcribed in English with one letter, the letter ha, right? So we have the soft H, the ha, and then we have the ha, the strong H. These two letters, they produce a very similar sound that could be transcribed as an H in English. But how would we distinguish them then, right? So for these letters that do not have a corresponding sound, بالإنجليزي أو بالإسباني أو بالفرنسي, what Arabs do is they are going instead to use numbers to represent them. So it's very common to see Arabs write WhatsApp, like in Latin letters, but writing Arabic using numbers. Because the letter Ha looks sort of like a 7, this letter is going to be transcribed as a 7. So now you know you can write Habibi like this. Or if you want to write it with Latin letters, you can write it like this, Habibi. Though it's also true commonly found with the normal H. But these set of letters are going to be joining from both sides, just like the ba, ta, tha, nun, uya. Tamam? This means that they're going to be changing shapes quite a lot depending on the side they're joining from. Tamam? We're going to start with the letter ha, the soft ha, that can be written when it's alone in isolation. It will be written like a tiny صفر, like a tiny zero or a tiny o. تمام? And when I mean it's small, I mean it's صغير. It's like the size of the ba. Okay? It's not as big as the alif. Remember the alif is quite a tall letter. تمام? When the H is isolated because it's at the end and it cannot join the letter in front or because it's just, I don't know, just there, then it's going to look like this. If it's joining من هون من الشمال, it's going to change shapes a lot and it's going to make this beautiful shape like a snail, okay, like the house of a snail. Very important for us to start from down, we go up and then we go out. تمام? It is true that we may also find it written like this, like an O, especially in computer writing. تمام? When it's joining من اليمين ومن اليسار or من الشمال, it's going to create an infinite like this. But we may also see it doing pip pip, doing this sort of pip pip shape. Okay, yes, this is a complicated letter. It can actually be written in many different ways. تمام? And when it's right at the end, it goes back to the same shape as when it was isolated, not joining, but with a line joining it to the letter in front. So it's going to look like an A. تمام? This is the letter Ha. If we want to write the 7, the strong Ha of Habibi, then, as we said, it's going to be looking quite a bit like a 7, like this. Tamam? This is how it's going to look when it's not joining a letter from either side. La من اليمين ولا من الشمال. تمام? If it's at the beginning, what we're going to do is we're going to let go of that circular shape, that tiny thing that comes here down, and we're just going to keep the head, the top of the letter. So it's going to look like this. As we said, this letter, the ha, is like the H that Harry Potter uses to communicate with snakes. So a trick to visualize and remember the sound of this letter is for you to think about the head of the snake. Tamam? This is the ha. The ha can be written like this. Oh, it may also be written like a 4, which is a bit confusing. You can see it both ways. Tamam? Either like this or like a 4 shape. When it's in the middle, it's going to be the same shape as when it's at the beginning, but with a longer line joining it to both sides. تمام? And when it's at the end, it's going to be like when it's in isolation, not joining any letter, but with a line joining it to the letter in front. تمام? So, 7, the head of the snake with a longer line and the same shape as alone, but joining the letter in front. Why am I repeating it? Well, because this letter, depending on whether it has a dot above, below, or none, is going to have a different pronunciation. If this letter has no dots, it's the letter ha. If this letter has a dot on top, is the letter ha. The ha of the German word Bach, the ha of the English word, inshallah, loch, or the ja of jamón, the Spanish J. Tamam? In English, we would transcribe it as a KH, ja. Tamam? When we're writing the WhatsApp with Latin letters. So we would, if we put the dot on top of all of these letters, then it's the ja. Isa, we put the dot below, then it's the letter J. The letter J that in Egyptian accent can be pronounced as a G. In English, it would be transcribed as a J. Or if you're learning Egyptian dialect, you may transcribe it as a G. تمام ماشي طيب okay. Is it more or less understood? This set of letters is quite difficult, but take your time, rewatch the video, try to practice if you want with the book we have available at our webpage. And inshallah khair, inshallah منيح. تمام. Anyhow, we're going to practice a little bit هون سوا بحل فيديو. تفضلوا معي. طب let's practice together. I've written here a word. I want you to stop the video, try to join the letters together to create the word حياتي, my life. حياتي, حبيبي حياتي. تمام? Stop the video, try to write it yourself, seeing if they would join or not. And once you're ready, click on play again and I will write it with you. So let's see again. We will do our ticks. This time we're gonna do it faster because we're already, I think, more comfortable with writing letters. We're gonna write ticks wherever the letters can join and X's wherever technically they could not join. So the only letter here that cannot join from the shmal is the letter alif, but the rest they can join from both sides. Tamam. Once I have these, remember only two ticks equal a tick. So here we have an X, here we have as well an X, and here we have an X, but all of the rest, they're all ticks. ماشي. Once we had these, we were going to do our triangles that were just because we're fashionistas and we love seeing things clearly and more beautifully. Well, that one crooked. Tamam. And once we had these, we just had to try to find our letters. How do we write the letter ha with a tick on the left and an X on the right? Well, we have it here. And we write it as we see it. Ha. Then the ya we don't have a reference, but we better remember how to write it because we learned it already together. We have the ya joining from both sides. It's gonna do this. Then the alif only joining from the left. There is no other place it could join, so that should be okay for us. Then the ta joining only from the left side, but not from here. Inshallah, inshallah, wallah, you remember these? Because if not, I recommend you go back to redo the previous videos. And then we have the ya at the end, which will look hick. Hayate. But we're not done. We're going to make it a little bit harder now. I just wrote here a sentence written بالحروف اللاتينية وبدي إياكم تجربوا تكتبوا نفس الجملة بس بالحروف العربية. I want you to try to write the same sentence but with Arabic letters. I pointed out with a blue line the vowels that are long and with a red dot on top, the short vowel. So if you see a red dot on top, that is a short vowel. Watch out here because this is a new word, is أنا. ماشي? So we have the word هو حبيبي. هو حبيبي أنا. He's my lover. وأنا حبيبته. And I'm his lover. تمام? Very useful sentence. So the same, stop the video, try to write it shui shui, notice the different H's and the short and long vowels. Or once you're ready, click on play and I will write it معكم. طب يلا, let's see if you got it. We have first the letter H. It's joining the wow and it's at the beginning. So I hope you all guessed it's this one. We're gonna come here and write it. And then it's joining a wow. Ho. تمام? Ho. Then we just need the short vowel e, which is a little bit tricky because indeed it could be a hoa and it could be a hui, right? Both the fatha and the kasra can be pronounced as an e. In this case, we don't have tricks for these, I'm sorry. It's an a. تمام? So it would be a fatha. Now, should we worry about these, taking into account that short vowels are not written بالعربي? No. هو which some Arabs may say Hoa, Habibi. We start with this one again. The head of the snake topped by a short vowel. Here we have no confusion, it's this one, right? Followed by a B that would be joining from all sides. A long vowel E that appears doubled only to indicate that it's long. Okay, sometimes this happens in transcription. It doesn't mean that we have two E. It just means that that vowel is definitely long. Why did we make this double and not this one? Because the last one would look weird. أول شيء وتاني شيء, because the accent of the word is in the first E. Habibi. The transcription is just letting us know that that is a long vowel and that we're going to stay there for a bit. Habib, and the final E. Habibi. U and Ana. The first A is a short vowel. Some of you may have written it like this. Wa. And if you did this, you're completely wrong. This could be an option, definitely. But what is the problem here? The letter U بالعربي means and. هو حبيبي, he's my lover. وأنا حبيبته, and I am his lover. This U is an independent letter that in Arabic it happens to join the word after. So we don't say أنا, we say وأنا. تمام؟ هو حبيبي وأنا حبيبته. It's a bit more joint. تمام؟ If I remove the U from the word, because for example I wanted to say just I am his girlfriend, أنا حبيبته, then would that mean that Anna is written like this, starting with a floating vowel there all alone, nothing holding it? What happens when we have a short vowel that is floating there? It needs to be held by a letter. Remember which letter it was? We saw it in last class. It's the alif. And when the alif is holding a short vowel, so that we know that it's holding the vowel, it's going to be carrying a hat on top that we call the hamza. If this was a bit confusing for you, I recommend you check the video previous to this one. تمام؟ هو حبيبي وأنا حبيبته. So we're gonna go write the exact same word as before. حبيب. We add the t. No. وأنا حبيبته. هو حبيبي وأنا حبيبته. You better get a boyfriend, a حبيب عربي, so that you can start saying this sentence. تمام؟ واجب البيت, homework, getting a حبيب عربي. تمام يا حلوين. Meanwhile you're on that, you can, as I told you, download our book, try to check the activities there, work a bit on writing. This is practice. And if you think you're super good with it, انتوا معلمين بالحروف العربية, you can also start checking our next video and learn the new set of letters. شكرا كتير ومع السلامة.